Let's talk a little Austin FC, shall we?
Yeah.
They are not one-hit wonders. They followed up their first ever MLS victory in Colorado with another victory in Minnesota, a 1-0 win over Minnesota FC. Diego Fagundes again put his name on the score sheet. On the CW broadcast, Adrian Healy used the word mature to describe Austin FC's performance. Jorge, would you agree with that? And what were your thoughts on the match overall?
Yeah. Like I said last week, I was pretty impressed that they were able to get more and more energy in Colorado as the game progressed, despite the altitude, which is a big problem for anyone playing in Denver. But that was not a fluke. They are very very well prepared. I mean they had, I think, 60% this time of the possession. It looked like most of the action was happening on their side of the field. They attacked well. Uh, they I think they did very very well. They should have probably scored three or four more goals, and that's something that Josh Wolf was saying uh, that there's were some opportunities there that were kind of lost there, especially like towards the end. Rodriguez again
He's
with
got
a
a bit of a
with the
trend
up.
going there, doesn't
Yeah,
he?
he's really really close, and this time he hit the post. But boy, they are playing some high quality football right now.
Yeah, yeah, most definitely. David, were you impressed?
Well, I was very impressed. I would say yes.
You
The team,
don't sound fully on board here. A 1-0 victories, they're not usually your thing. That's a little Mourinho-y, a 1-0 win. I
well,
think it's
yeah.
fair
I
to
mean,
say.
taking in consideration that Minnesota didn't really put some pressure in the second half. I mean, it was obviously at some point it's like, when this going to stop, because they keep having putting the high pressure up there, and Adrian Heath was doing a good job, I think. I mean, it was kind of nostalgic seeing him in the other
Yeah.
side,
Some
because
Austin Aztecs
he
connection
was
there.
an Austin Aztec coach, and we have it on the radio. We had him in Futbol En Vivo, so I was like,
Oh
yeah,
wow, I didn't know that.
yeah, he's a legend at that, at the Everton, and
Did you
well,
give
yeah,
him
and
coaching
Austin.
advice whenever he came on the show, David? Is that how he was able to move up into MLS based on your kind of tutelage that you gave him?
Well, I don't know, but yeah, he has so many good. I mean, he lived here for a while, so he has some. I've been using his videos for training.
Oh wow,
Nice.
Yeah,
really?
Very
he did
cool.
some nice training videos at over there in on the west side at St. Stephen's High School,
Mm-hmm.
soccer field. So I've been using some of his videos. It's really good. I mean, he's. I mean, he's a good coach. He's a good person. So I was like, hey, it's nice to see him, and we're playing a real game with against a real coach. He had very successful time at Austin Aztec, and then he was part of the Orlando City first season, so a couple first seasons. So he was up there, and now he's coaching Minnesota. So Minnesota did not look that bad as I thought it would, and I think we did a better job. And I think we're keeping the consistency. The team is very consistent, very good control from the back. And I mean, the main thing is our goalie. It just
Yeah,
gives us
Stuber
Yeah.
so
looks
much,
really, really good.
Yeah.
strength from the back. I mean, it's like the guys were saying when we're watching the game. This looks like a Premier League goalie easily, because it was an Everton fan was talking about it, and
Yeah.
after Everton pick, or I
Yeah.
mean,
He,
I don't want to say, but
so
I think
he's
he's
seen
better
he's
than
seen
that
some
than
rough
Pickard. But
goalkeeping, I guess, with Pickford.
yeah, but then Fagundes came back again, and he scored the first goal, then the only goal, and in a great manner, great cross and great definition, and the team was able to keep it up, to keep the pressure. I mean, the people were pressuring, but the team came back and deservedly won the game, and he showed that you know 2 games in a row, winning in the road, just
So actually,
say something about it.
yeah, I
Yeah.
want to ask you, David, about Fagundes. So he started last week because there was that administrative issue with Tomas Pochettino. He starts this past week against Minnesota because there was a foot problem with Pereira. So
Right.
he gets in kind of based on those two players being out, Pochettino against Colorado and then
hmm
Pereira against Minnesota. Do you think, based on these two performances, though, that he's done enough to justify starting regardless of who's available and who's fit in Austin FC's midfield?
Oh, but definitely. I was just missing Kakuta Manneh. I was like, where is Kakuta? Well, like, this is the
I think
day.
you're kind of the Kakuta Manneh, the president of that fan club. I think it's
Of
fair to
course I
say
am.
that.
Yeah. I want to be about. It's nice to see that there's enough players to go around, like, and with the injuries, and with they're overcoming anything. And I think even in goal we have like 3 or 4 more options too. So it seems like the team is very consistent.
What are your thoughts on this, Jorge? Who is the Austin FC? What is their ideal starting midfield 3 as it stands right now?
Well, I actually, before the season started, I actually had Fagundes starting ahead of Pereira. So when Pereira started, I was a little surprised, but after seeing him play, I mean, he's such a high energy guy. He's always in the right places, great speed. So it's justified to have him start, but depending on how this foot issue, I think it's plantar fasciitis, if I'm not mistaken, that he's got a problem with. So from my understanding, that kind of condition doesn't really go away. It can only be managed. So I foresee a pattern of alternating starts between Fagundes and Pereira, depends on the competition. If it's gonna be they're gonna have to look at the midfielders and the defense the defensive linemen for the opposing team, and they're just gonna have to make a determination to see who's gonna start. But I really foresee a co-starting position for either of those two guys. But at the same time, Fagundes has got the hot foot right now. I mean, he's
tough to leave him out. Really is.
He's tied all time for the goals for Austin FC at 2. So, and Cecilio played a really good game too.
I thought he did as well. He was hacked to no end out there. It
exactly,
was very physical.
And it looks like Adrian Heath, that was his game plan to kind of take him out of the equation. So that speaks volumes as to the respect Cecilio is already having in his 3rd game. That they're marking him and they're looking at him as the important guy. But then they're going to have to forget about Stroud. He played phenomenally. It's a 2nd straight game. He's played very, very well. He probably should have had the assist on Fagundes' first goal on the last game, but Hoesen kind of got in the way there. But at the same, they really need to start working on that final third to finishing, because Cole Manneh is able to get the ball in there. Stroud gets the ball in there as well. They're really very good at passing, but it's just that final piece. I mean, the Hoesen.
Gallagher again has several chances.
Gallagher had really good chances. There was that Redes chance at the end, but Hoesen really he brings flashes of.
Has he done enough for
play.
you, Hoesen? Would you say, Jorge?
He gets involved in the plays. I mean, like I said, he was kind of I guess you could say instrumental, because he got in the way to deflect that ball for Fagundes in that first goal. And in that goal yesterday against Minnesota, he's actually the one that made that great pass to Stroud, falling backwards. So it was impressive, because he was able to get it out there with precision, and Stroud was able to pass it to the box to Fagundes. So he gets his plays in. But when you have a forward and a striker, you expect them to put balls in the back of the net, not be around. And there was one great chance that he had, again with a pass from Stroud, that instead of kicking it, I think he tried to head it, and it went wide. But I'll reserve judgment, I think, because there's really nobody else. I mean, they could try maybe to motivate him a little bit and give him a break and start. I would really like to start Manneh on goal. I think he'd bring a different dimension.
You made David's evening there, Jorge.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kakuta's.
Do you think
Manneh
amenable as the center forward is what you think that would work? Okay.
Yeah, I think that will work. I mean, Stroud right now, Again, Redes, I think is still not 100% with his knee. That's why he hasn't started. But for the good 20-25 minutes that he puts in as a sub, he's been really good too. I mean, he's
I
really
actually thought he looked
close.
really great on the left side, being able to kind
Yes.
of drift in with his right foot. Played some really nice passes to Gallagher when like
Yes.
both
Yeah.
of those guys came on at the same time. You had Manneh flying up down the wing, providing that width, and then you had Redes just in that inside channel playing those passes forward. I thought he was really impressive.
Yeah, that's gonna be interesting to see when we can see Kolmanich, uh, what's the other guy, Redes and Gallagher starting in this at the same time, because all three of them are super fast. They're you could see their quality is higher than, but I guess it's a good idea to place them as a subs because by that time a lot of the defenders are tired and throw those two fast guys in there, Gallagher and Redes, and they wreck some havoc so far.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Jorge. I think as substitutes, it's 60th minute, legs getting a little tired. Jon Gallagher running directly at you is not what you want to
Yeah.
see as a center back. I don't think. David, do you think that's more of the role for Gallagher, or do you think you've seen enough from him to maybe justify a shot at starting at striker?
I mean, he has been good as he had his chances again, and I think I just want to have Kakuta there. I want to have somebody that I have more trust. I mean,
you and Kakuta, you guys go way back. There's a lot of trust there. So that's your guy.
But it's just that we're lacking like somebody that's gonna put the goal in. I mean, we're lacking that. I mean, Cecilio tried again. He has a nice free kick, very close up there too. But I think that's the only thing we're missing. I think the team is playing very well from the back. Nice passes, very much more fluid than Minnesota was, and passing the ball. But the last third that's what we're lacking.
Yeah, I agree. Just to kind of start to go ahead, Jorge.
No, and what I was going to mention is that, Wolf promised that his guys were going to be high tempo, a lot of goal scoring and all that kind of stuff, and I think so far it was a good promise last week, and really it was just again the ball just didn't bounce their way at times on this game, but just to see just to look at the importance of what the goals would be. Austin FC has 6 points on top of in the Western Conference, and so do the other four teams above them. They all have 6 points, and they are all separated by one goal. San Jose is at +4, Real Salt Lake +3, LA Galaxy +2, and Austin +1. So if they could have scored a couple of goals, they could be in second place. I mean, that's pretty impressive. This is not going to be FC Cincinnati or something like that. These guys are going to perform game in and game out.
Yeah, I agree 100% there, Jorge. I would just like to give a quick shout out to Alex Ring. I think it's kind of becoming, you kind of just expect this from him, but I want to make sure to give him his credit because he was outstanding. Emmanuel Reynoso with Minnesota, he's one of the preeminent, absolute best number 10s in Major League Soccer, and he had a very difficult time going up against Alex Ring in this match. He was able to hit the post with a shot, but otherwise he didn't really do a whole lot, Reynoso, and I think a lot of that was down to the work that Ring did. This was a very physical match. I think the referee maybe let things go that he shouldn't have, but I think that suits Ring. Yeah. And I think it was nice that it felt good having that kind of enforcer out there in Austin FC's midfield, and Ring. He absolutely is that enforcer. So does anybody else have any final thoughts on Austin FC, this match, or Austin FC in particular?
Well, basically, I just want to say something about that. I mean, the fan support, the people supporting the team. That's what I want to
that definitely deserves a mention, David.
Yeah, everybody's, and you just wearing your jersey, your Verde jersey, and going around, and then people say, yeah, we won the last two games. Like people are using the pronoun we, and I was like, there you go, that's something. I mean, people is being proud. They feel confident that the team is solid.
Yeah,
and it's entertaining. It's entertaining to see them. So even for people, I went to see it even with, people that didn't care that much about the team, but still, let's say something about it's creating the atmosphere and the spirit for Hoesen FC is here.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a watch party with that Austin Anthem at Celis yesterday, and it was pretty packed. Pretty excited, obviously, with the win and everything, and then Los Verdes had their watch party at Hop Squad, and they had the Murga out there, and they are super
Look
excited.
pretty wild, the scenes
Super
on
hyped.
social
Yeah,
media.
I mean, wherever La Murga shows up in Los Verdes, that's the atmosphere that
Also,
that
so
they're
it
going
seems
to
like
leave for all of us.
Los Verdes are taking over the team, the supporters group, huh?
Yeah, a
With
little bit.
Fagundes being there, like
We
saying,
threw up the LV, yeah, and so a little irked by that because I'm an Austin Anthem, but hey, I mean we're both supporting the team in our different ways.
All
and,
supporting the same team.
Yeah, we're all supporting the same
Yeah.
team, and what I was gonna say is that I actually did go to the Verdes store on Friday. I was invited.
Did you see any Santiago Wanderers apparel?
There were no Santiago Wanderers. I did see a couple of guys in Celtic gear, so that was a little odd. But
okay.
there's I mean, it was packed, and this was just like the soft opening, I guess. It was by invite, I guess you could say, for season ticket holders. But from what I understand, yesterday was just full. There were lines out to the out to the parking lot that's there. Pretty much all day, getting people in there just excited about the team, and it was interesting because if you go to the store, you actually get a chance to look at the stadium because the exit is on the inside of the stadium, and they have it roped off and everything, so you can't really wander into the stadium. But there's that iron tree that they're kind of promoting, but you get to see the stadium. It's really beautiful. So even if you want to go and just buy a keychain or something just to look at the stadium, I think it's worth it. So like David said, everybody's super excited. I put it on Twitter the other day, but I actually went to Taco Bell the other day. Please don't hate.
No, I appreciate a good Taco Bell session. I would never judge you.
And I have my bumper stickers in my car, so I'm in the line, but I have the windows up and I have the radio on, not too loud, and I hear a distinct "listo, listo," and what is that? And I roll down the window, and it's the guy behind me is shouting at me "listo." So I had to shout back, "Verde."
You
and we were like that in the Taco Bell line for a good couple of minutes. So I think the love between Austin and Austin FC, I think it's there.
Buenos días, Jorge. Buenas tardes, Jorge, perdón. Cuéntanos, empezamos con Austin FC.
Sí, pues ayer sábado Austin FC visitó a Minnesota y jugaron otro partido muy buen partido que pudieron dar a la afición. Fue un triunfo de 1-0 con gol otra vez de Diego Fagundes en el minuto 17, si no me equivoco. Y el ataque es muy bueno. Sí tuvieron muchas oportunidades para anotar más goles. Simplemente no pudieron terminar en sus oportunidades, pero sí se ve que el sistema que está implementando Josh Wolf está funcionando, ¿verdad? No se habían cansado, se veían con mucha energía, controlaron mucho el balón, parece que tuvieron 60% de posesión, muy buenos pases, pero debieron haber anotado unos 2 o 3 goles más, yo creo, especialmente cuando Rodney le pegó al poste, ¿verdad? Es la segunda vez en juegos consecutivos que tuvo una muy buena oportunidad, uno contra uno con el portero y no pudo terminar, ¿verdad? También Gallagher entró igual en el minuto 60, igual que Redes, también tuvo una oportunidad, así que les falta un poquito en cuanto a terminar, pero pues una victoria es una victoria, ¿verdad? Especialmente sabiendo que los últimos 3 partidos, los próximos 4 van a ser en cancha del oponente. Es importante cualquier punto que pueda uno conseguir.
Bueno, Sebastián, ¿cuál fue tu visión del partido?
Lo mismo, lo que quiero destacar es que, bueno, sí, se vuelve a ganar, cosa importante, pero se mantiene el estilo, que como lo dice Josh Wolf y todos lo hemos escuchado, es mantener el balón, no importa qué, sigue con la posesión, sigue tocando la pelota y sigue llegando. Eso es algo muy interesante. Ya lo dijo Jorge, muchísimas imprecisiones del FC, mantiene su estilo de juego, pero por lapsos se ve toques perdidos, se ve muchísimas fallas. También quiero destacar que el gol nuevamente cae en esta dupla Jared Stroud y Diego Fagundes. Fue una calca casi el primer gol histórico. Gran pase de Stroud, llega a cerrar la pinza a Fagundes para poner su segundo gol en cuenta propia. Pero lo demás sí, no se concreta. Rodney Redes vuelve a fallar cuando ingresa y yo creo que un poquito por ahí va el caso del por qué Jared Stroud ya le ganó la titularidad, ¿no? También los cambios de Josh Wolf. Gallagher volvió a entrar motivadísimo. Yo lo repito, creo que ya se está ganando una oportunidad para el once inicial, a pesar de que por ahí Danny Hoesen da pases y juega de espaldas. Creo que Gallagher podría aportar un poco más. Y si estamos fallando, el mismo Alex Ring dijo al final en conferencia de medios, no podemos estar fallando así, fallamos muchísimas, incluyéndome. Si siguen fallando, los pueden llegar a empatar, porque al final del partido Brad Stuber tuvo una atajada salvaje que le hubiera costado 2 puntos al FC. Entonces creo que sí van por buen camino, manteniendo el estilo de juego, siéndole fiel a lo que quieren, pero no se pueden dar el lujo de estar fallando tanto porque les va a costar. El siguiente domingo ante Kansas City, si no mejoran eso, creo que no se van a llevar un resultado tan favorable.
No, así es, yo creo que es una discusión que el último tercio de la cancha como que hace falta hacer más goles. Definitivamente hay más oportunidades, pero falta que alguien la ponga, ¿no, Eduardo? ¿Qué piensas tú?
Sí, evidentemente, como lo mencionaba bien Sebastián y Jorge, Austin hace un partidazo de inicio a fin, que también Minnesota tuvo las suyas y perdonó también bastante, pudo haberlo empatado, pero Austin concretó y las que tuvo las anotó. En este caso fue una, aunque tuvo muchas, de todas esas, una la concretó en una gran jugada de Jared Stroud, centro del mismo, y le empuja a Fagundes, que ya tiene 2 goles. Anotó en el partido contra Colorado el primer gol en la historia de Austin en MLS y vuelve a anotar contra Kansas. Ahora el equipo está jugando muy bien y tiene una buena posesión de balón, un buen toque y está ahorita en cuarto lugar de la tabla, cosa que también es un golpe anímico muy fuerte y futbolístico para el equipo mantenerse ahí. Yo sigo insistiendo en que el Austin va a ser protagonista y por qué no pelear por el título y hacer historia en su primera temporada.
Pues
esta es la actitud que necesitamos, ¿cierto, Jorge?
Sí, iba a mencionar, ¿verdad? Que como Eduardo mencionó, estar en cuarto lugar. Pero también como mencionó Seba, ¿verdad? Necesitan anotar más goles porque los 4 equipos arriba de la conferencia del oeste tienen 6 puntos y solo un gol separa uno al otro. Así que si pudieran anotar un par de goles más, estarían empatados en segundo lugar con Real Salt Lake. Así que no tienen que trabajar en eso, en ese último tercio como ya creo que estamos en acuerdo los 4, ¿verdad? En cuanto a eso, tienen que anotar un poquito más, pero qué bonito, ¿no? Que podemos hablar de eso, no te están en número 13, tienen que anotar un gol o algo, no, están haciendo muy bien, ¿verdad? No queremos ser críticos, pero queremos que sigan así, ¿verdad? Que sigan con ese estilo, parece que van a seguir así, estoy en acuerdo con Seba que Hoesen es un mediocampista, es una atacante, ¿verdad? Y no está metiendo goles, así que él, no sé si es falta de concentración o simplemente así es como juega, que prefiere dar pases a otros lugares, pero sí falló algunas, ¿verdad? Una en particular donde Jared Stroud lanzó una pelota al centro y en vez de cabecearla, creo que quiso, o en vez de cabecearla, quiso patearla y la pateó mal, ¿verdad? Y estaba abierto, estaba fácil para hacer ese gol y simplemente escogió mal, así que, pero esas oportunidades no se pueden perder, especialmente estando en camino, ¿verdad? Estando en Minnesota, tuvieron que aprovechar más, pero una victoria es una victoria, así que pues hay que celebrarla y a ver lo que pasa con Kansas City la próxima semana, porque Sporting KC está en lugar número 10. No están tampoco jugando su mejor fútbol. Así que quizás una oportunidad, ¿verdad? Para experimentar, creo yo, ¿verdad? No sé si le van a dar. y como mencioné en la porción de inglés, a mí me encantaría ver a Kakuta Manneh empezar en vez de de Danny Hoesen, quizás para motivar a Hoesen un poco o decir, ¿sabes qué? No estás cumpliendo, ¿verdad? Y darle la oportunidad a alguien más. O hasta Gallagher, ¿verdad? Me encantaría
Sí.
también ver a Gallagher ahí enfrente.
No, claro,
Exactamente.
sobre todo siendo el 9, ¿no? El referente y ese número te da un peso, te da una responsabilidad que tienes que cumplir. Y claro, si no estás haciendo goles, ¿sabes qué? Siéntate, motívate, trabaja para volverte a ganar el lugar y de eso se trata. Ya también algo voy a rescatar que dijiste, Jorge, a veces parece que estamos exigiéndole o así. Claro que estamos todos contentos, perdón, en Austin porque se están haciendo bien las cosas y creo que eso es algo bueno. Estamos exigiendo porque nos damos cuenta de que este equipo es plenamente capaz y ya lo dijo Junior, también puede llegar a cosas muy grandes, algo así, un apunte rápido, sin demeritar obviamente a ningún equipo. Creo que Minnesota no ofreció mucho, creo que no se le vio tanto como igual esperábamos, no ha sumado ningún punto en esta campaña, como también ya lo comentaron, como te lo va a hacer el equipo del Galaxy o cualquier otro equipo, ¿no? Entonces, bueno, son puntos a trabajar para seguir exigiendo al equipo y que siga resultando, y ya lo dijo Lalo, pensar en una temporada completamente histórica.
Sí, claro, sin desmerecer también a Minnesota también, porque Adrian Heath fue el entrenador de Minnesota, que yo creo que en el segundo tiempo trató de hacer una presión más alta contra Austin y lo consiguió. Y hubo momentos en que se veía la presión de, no sé qué pasa aquí, tiene que haber algún cambio, porque se veía venir un gol de Minnesota que nunca llegó. Pero sí, algo puedo rescatar, y aparte que Adrian Heath le gusta jugar así con un equipo con un estilo muy parecido al que al que juega Austin FC, y ya lo vimos antes cuando fue coach del Austin Aztec, y después siguió cuando fue el coach de Orlando City. Bueno,
Sí, hay que recordar que Reynoso también le pegó al poste, ¿verdad? Para Minnesota. Así que, sí tuvieron también sus oportunidades, pero como jugó el portero, ¿verdad? Stover, increíble, ¿eh?
increíble, sí. O sea, con la seguridad que nos da Stuber, hay pocos equipos que te dan, arqueros que te dan esa seguridad,
Eso sí.
como un hombre extra, básicamente, que no solamente está ahí de arquero, sino que también uh, te apoya, te habla, ¿no? Y es un líder, básicamente es un líder en la cancha. Así que es bueno que estemos hablando de este tipo de cosas. Significa que tenemos como es el deep bench, ¿no? Hay cambios en el equipo, hay posibilidades. Que Kakuta Manneh, obviamente, para mí sería ideal tenerlo más tiempo en la cancha. Creo que es un hombre que mucho más desequilibrante, ¿no? Y que sí ha demostrado que puede hacer más goles para el equipo. Pero es lindo estar discutiendo de este tipo, en vez de estar discutiendo lo malo que está el equipo o lo malo que ha sido la dirección de los dueños o como ha pasado en otros países, ¿no? Donde a veces se crean este tipo de problemas, ¿no? Cuando no hay esa sincronía que tenemos en Austin.
Sí, claro
Ok,
que sí.
bueno, chicos, entonces el próximo partido es el próximo domingo a las 6:30 contra Kansas,
Sporting,
¿no?
Sporting Kansas City, ajá.
Kansas City, que es un equipo que ha tenido una gran temporada, ¿no? Las últimas 2 temporadas han sido grandes temporadas de Kansas City, no solamente en la cancha, sino que también como equipo, ¿no? Y como la fanaticada del equipo también muy bien organizada también, la de Kansas City, ha creado un excelente ambiente en la ciudad, de
Sí,
identificación con el equipo.
sí,
Así que
nomás un poquito, han empezado un poquito mal, tanto Minnesota como Sporting Kansas City, eran equipos que estaban en los playoffs la temporada pasada, así que
sí,
sí tienen, ¿verdad? Esa capacidad, simplemente, pues como todo, ¿verdad? No han empezado muy bien esta temporada. Portland también es excelente equipo y están también abajo en la tabla, así que, pues no hay que menospreciar el oponente, ¿verdad? Son muy buenos equipos todos, pero se está viendo muy bien Austin ahorita.
sí.
Aparte, ojo con Kansas, que esta jornada anotó Alan Pulido. Sabemos que es un delantero que en la Liga
Ajá.
Mexicana la rompió. Aquí en la MLS tiene todo lo necesario para romperla. Entonces, si se pone a tono, va a exigir bastante a la defensa. Veremos qué piensa Josh, porque esta semana vuelve a mandar a la banca a Julio Cascante, regresó Bisler, veremos con qué línea de 4 empieza la saga defensiva contra Kansas, porque creo que Alan y compañía pueden exigir mucho más de lo que vimos en Minnesota, también pensar en esa parte ahora la defensiva del equipo.
Sí, correcto, Sebastián, porque Minnesota como que no tenía los jugadores de renombre que tienen otros equipos, ¿no? Yo creo que eso es lo que más le faltaba a Minnesota desde mi punto de vista, pero en términos de técnico, ahí estaba Aiden Heath haciendo un buen trabajo.